Untitled Spider's Web, and in this video we're going to be doing a painting. It's the first of our ones from the Conan Kickstarter, and the one I've chosen is the one I've been really looking forward to painting, and I'm slightly disappointed. We're doing the snake, and the reason I'm slightly disappointed is looking at it now. I've got it in my hand. I don't need to paint it. All I can do, what I can do instead is just wash it. And I was really looking forward to doing some painting techniques on this, but unfortunately I think I can do a really good job with this painting it, washing it rather than painting it. So let's get on with it, shall we? The colours I'm going to be using are not that one. Kelia green shade and Cassandra yellow. And that's it. I might put in some Reichland flesh shade as yet. I'm not sure. We're also going to be using a little bit of, when I can find it, Duchar Violet. But that's it. That's all we're going to be using for this model. So let's do the underside first, and the underside we're going to be doing in Cassandra yellow. So let's, as a wise man once said, let's get it on. So I've basically primed it white, as you can see. We might actually add a glaze afterwards, depending on how it looks. I'm not certain as yet, but this Cassandra yellow is going on all the undersides. You can tell which is the underside because it's got like this ridged, lined effect to it rather than scales. Alright, so we'll just keep at it until we've got all this area washed. And as you can see, I've got it on a actually I think I've painted the wrong area there. Oops, that's slightly off camera, sorry about that. Yes, I have. I got the wrong area there. Never mind. There are some areas where I can actually paint, but it's going to be just as easy. I've just noticed it, to be honest. It'll be just as easy going over with null oil, which I'm going to do. That's the null oil, which is the one I'm going to be using for those areas. Like rocks and stones and stuff like that. I'm going to wash them. Like so, and then I'll come back and give them a repeat wash later on. But now we're going to be using the Keelia green shade. There are going to be spots of, there are going to be areas where I'm going to be painting. And the Keelia green shade is going along the tops of the snake, as you may have gathered. And I'm not going to fuss about getting it. I think I may have to get my bigger pot. I think I've finished that. So I'll get my other pot of Keelia green shade, which is the bigger one. There we are. And we'll just go over all these areas like so. And I have been looking at pictures of snakes recently to try and give myself some ideas of painting for these, and yes, there are snakes that are this colour. So that is the reason why I've gone for this colour scheme for this particular model. I'm going right to the end of the tip of the tail with the green. I need to dip in a little bit more to the orange, sorry, the yellow. Because I have missed a bit along the bottom there. And I'm not worried about what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not worried about these two bleeding into it, these two colours bleeding into each other. It's going to give a more natural effect. We're going to be doing something a little different with the mouth and the fangs. Hopefully, if I can find it. I'll have to wait for this to dry first of all before I can do that. There we go. I am so far liking this effect. I may do a little bit of dry brushing later, I don't know yet, depends on how it looks when it's dried. I'm not planning on it, but you never know what will happen. As I say, I'm not too fussed about the colours blending and merging with each other. You get a rather interesting, oops, although saying that, so it's gone a bit too much at the bottom here. So we can get a little bit of bleeding in. With the colours we've got, that's, as I said, that just adds that natural look to it, but you don't want it going too far. You don't want to lose one colour because the other ones bled in too much. So just be a little careful of what you're doing towards the edges, but don't be too precise. Right, and what we're doing now is avoiding the inside of the mouth with this, because this is the one part where we do need to be that little bit precise. But we do want to get around the edges because we don't want any white showing. And bear in mind, this is not finished yet. This is just the primary coat, as it were. Just notice we have missed a little bit at the top there. Okay, so that's that. Next thing we're going to be doing is using the Gucci Violet. Going to go in and do on the soft parts of the mouth. By the soft parts I mean anything but the fangs. If you do catch the fangs, don't worry, we can always repaint them white. In fact, it might be just as easy just to go over the fangs and then repaint them white, because it's getting a little bit tricky to get the brush in. And there we go. And finally, for the skull, on the end of the tail, a little bit of our old faithful Magrax Earthshade, because let's face it, it's a skull. and there is a little need for some more green on the end there, because I've missed a little bit. But what I have to do first of all is find the green. In fact, I may be able to take some off here. Just add some more green. If you can see you've missed anywhere, make sure you've got everything. If you see some white poking through, go over it with the appropriate colour. And that's what we have so far. I may actually go towards some of this yellow with the Reichland Flesh shade. Just to add a little bit of a shadow to it. I may re-go over some of that underside with white and add some more yellow to it, because the green has gone a little bit too much. But if I can grab some of the green, it might be okay. There we are. So that's it so far. That's not it yet. Hopefully I can find something to do that I want to do for the fangs, but as I say, so far that is our snake. So we need to go over the fangs once more, and then with the white. In fact, I may do a different colour. I have had an idea. I may do a different colour. Rather than white fangs, I may do black instead. And there's a few areas down here which are rock that I think I'll need to paint rather than wash, because it's not doing well washed. But well, we'll soon see. But as I say, so far that's it. We have to wait for this to dry and then we can carry on a little bit more. But when it is, we'll come back. Okay? See you in the next video. Take care, God bless, and bye for now.